I'm going to talk about sucking as an artist. So as you guys know, I've been working on Oath to Embers now for about 4 years, and this is an older piece of card art that I worked on. When I first started working on Oath to Embers, I knew that I was still trying to become the type of illustrator that I wanted to be. I don't think that I was up to the task or how big the task was going to be, but I knew that if I didn't at least start, then I would never end up becoming that person. So I think at the beginning I was good enough to get by, but some of the earlier artwork that I did, I guess it worked fine on like a tiny piece of card art. But the more and more I cared about the game, the more I started feeling less satisfied with work that I deemed was just merely acceptable. So I would say that like one difficult part of becoming a better artist is that your older work that you look back on stays exactly the same. You become better as an artist, but all your old artwork is just still sitting in the ether sucking. And your eye starts to become much more trained. You start noticing anatomy issues, weak values, different types of lighting problems, awkward and strange compositions, or just like simple details that you probably wouldn't have noticed before. Now there is a phrase for part of this, and it's called the taste gap. Your ability to recognize great artwork can develop a lot faster than your ability to consistently create it. Now, over time, I've been able to bring some really, really incredible artists onto the team of Oath to Embers, and some of the artwork that they send me is honestly intimidating. Like sometimes I look at their sketches or their paintings and I'm like, not only how am I supposed to put my artwork up against this person's artwork, but one of my jobs is the art director, so I actually have to direct these artists. There's an awkwardness to that, I think, because while I am directing and correcting some of the artwork, I also know that I'm nowhere near as good as some of these artists. And I think that awkwardness is good fuel if you don't let it cripple you. And if I'm asking other artists to bring their best foot forward into the game, I want my paintings to deserve to be next to theirs. Now, a big thing that I probably don't talk about, and I don't think it's an excuse, is like the reality of the workload that I'm taking on. So I typically wake up between 4:30 and 5 in the morning. I work on the game, I go to work and I tattoo, and then I immediately come home, and while I have the energy, I paint. And I did this probably 2 years straight. I think I did a painting every single day. Now, when there's a huge list of artwork that needs to exist before the game can come out, I'll look at a painting and decide that, okay, well, that one works good enough. Eventually, some of these paintings catch up with me, and this just happened to be one of them. Now, for those of you who don't know, or who aren't on the Discord or the website yet, you naughty people, Lariah is one of the main characters of Oath to Embers. And she is a Bornalian, which means that she hails from the kingdom of Bornalia, and it just so happens that she's the only playable character that we have in the game that hails from the main kingdom where the story takes place and begins. Now, Lariah's class is what we call a Fate Weaver. Now, Fate Weavers are trained healers who can also influence fate. Now, a lot of that idea for Fate Weaver is represented mechanically, basically meaning this is what she does in-game, but if you think of it in a story base, they are healers that learn how to turn events slightly in their favor or slightly not in the enemy's favor. Now, the point of this artwork and what this card is supposed to do is Lariah is healing the entire party. Now, for any of you guys who play RPGs, healing the entire party can sometimes feel wasteful because there are heroes that are already at most of their health. So to end up making the card more useful, any healing that goes beyond a character's maximum HP, they'll end up getting something called Insight. Now, Insight is a resource that players stores, and they use this on abilities that are reactive, meaning that they are during another hero's turn or during the enemy's turn, so that you can basically still play while it's not your turn. The thing I like about this card in general is that it gives players a really interesting choice. So you can save this card for when players are going to be low on health and everyone would need heals, but alternatively, you can also play it a little bit earlier and convert the extra healing into Insight that could help the party be a little bit more reactive. Now, mainly one of the reasons I wanted to repaint this piece is because there were some low resolution factors. Because it was a small piece of card art, I didn't feel the crazy need to make these pieces very big. They're only going to be about, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches by 2 inches by the time they're printed. I wanted to get a little bit more expression and get a touch more clarity on the magical effect that was happening. Now, I'm still nowhere near the artist that I would like to become. And I think that most artists actually never really truly feel satisfied with where they are. There's always something else to learn. There's always another weakness that you're going to notice. But I think sucking as an artist is really good because the fact that you sucked at one point and holding on to those pieces, what I think that does is it gives you some type of anchor into the past on the artist that you used to be. And it helps you realize that progress has actually happened. When you're doing art and working every day, that's really hard to notice on a day-to-day. So sometimes doing something like this and repainting an old piece, it's a nice reminder that all those hours that you're spending doing art are actually leading somewhere. So I plan on sharing more and more stories like this because there are going to be several paintings I know that are going to bother me and I'm going to have to repaint again anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching.